Very good morning, children. I welcome you all for a new class, 10th standard. Let me start online class for maths, and this is Jnana Priyadarshini. I'm going to start with the first chapter. Before starting that, how the maths will be in 10th standard, what was in 9th standard, comparatively how the classes in 10th. That is what I'm going to say now. So when you compare to 9th standard we have mostly theory based chapters, but in 10th standard we are going to apply all those theory in 10th standard almost in all the chapters. So no need to worry. So 10th standard maths will be very easy to score. So once you understand, you can easily score marks in class 10. Actually this is going to be one of our easiest subject. Okay, we can score very well in maths. The only thing what you need to do is right from day 1 you are supposed to watch videos and you have to take hint. Then you should write your CW and then whatever worksheet is given that should be completed UT to be done well, so that it is easy for you to score in all the exams as well as in board exam. Okay dears, so let me say first what all you should do for the maths online class. First what you should be ready with. So you have to be ready with hint note. So you should take hint while I am teaching. So when you are watching the video, you are supposed to take only notes. You are not supposed to write your CW. This is the first thing you have to follow. So you should have a separate notebook for hint. Then second one, CW. CW, when you are supposed to write, once you completed all the online classes, after your lunch, you will get enough of time. So by that time you can start writing your CW. It should be maintained neatly. From day 1 you are supposed to write it. Monday we are going to start. I think many of you are not yet get your books. That's not an issue. Your old notebook, unruled notebook can be used for CW. Okay. Hint note, any of the ruled notebook you can use. For hint note, you can use any of the ruled notebook. Hint note can be a ruled notebook, but your classwork should be a unruled notebook. 192 pages. Okay dear? And then you should start with the date, topic, and then whatever the introduction we are going to give, and then every exercise, all the questions you are supposed to write. So exercise 1.1 in the sense, suppose if you have 5 questions, all the questions one by one. After completing each question, you are supposed to draw line. Okay, use your scale and pencil, draw line neatly. Okay dears, so this should be followed. I hope you all know very well, but I am telling you, the reason is you need to follow this because your CW carries 5 marks. Okay, your CW and worksheet notebook 5 marks will be allotted for internals. So you are supposed to maintain your notebook neatly. That's the reason I am telling you dears. So exercise you have completed. So you are about to complete the chapter in the sense, after completing the chapter, you have to draw a line. If you are starting the second chapter in the sense, that should be in the new fresh page. Okay, don't start at the end of the page or in the middle of the page. No need. So you can just leave that page and go for the next one. This is how you are supposed to maintain your CW. Next, third one is you should maintain separate worksheet notebook. Worksheet notebook, that should be a unruled notebook. Okay, so after 2 weeks we are going to start with UT and then worksheet. Worksheet when you will be getting in the sense, Suppose Monday is max UT, in the sense you will be getting Saturday max worksheet. So that worksheet will be based on the UT portion. Okay, so that you will have a practice in the UT portion, and then you can write your UT well. UT will be for 20 marks. Right from first UT, you are supposed to score well. Okay, ma'am. You know very well what will be the segregation of marks for your internals. That is 5 marks for CW, HW and your worksheet notebook, and 5 marks for your activity, and 10 marks will be your exam test, whatever you are going to write, that average. So totally 20 marks will be awarded for your internals. Okay, dear. So I want all 10 standard students to supposed to score 20 marks. If that is the case, you should maintain your CW, HW and worksheet notebook properly. You should do activities, and you have to write your UT, and then all the tests, periodic test or your quarterly exam, half-yearly exam, everything you are supposed to do well, so that your average will be 10 on 10. Okay, dears? Okay. So allocation of mark for each chapter. Here they have given unit name. The first one, what they have given us, number system. Number system in the sense that is real numbers. That chapter alone carries 6 marks. Next one is algebra. Algebra in the sense chapter number 2, polynomials, linear equation, chapter number 4, quadratic equation, and then chapter number 5, arithmetic progression. Together is algebra. For all those 4 chapters together, 20 marks. We can't say that each chapter carries 5 marks. Okay, so it may vary. Then third unit they have given us coordinate geometry, which alone carries 6 marks. Likewise geometry. Geometry in the sense we have triangles, circles and construction. 3 chapters together, 15 marks. And then trigonometry. Trigonometry is chapter number 8 and chapter number 9. That is introduction to trigonometry, and then application of trigonometry together, 12 marks. Then 6th unit is mensuration, that is areas related to circle and surface area volume, together 10 marks. And last is statistics and probability, together 11 marks. So totally 80. So this time we are expecting there may be some changes in the question pattern. So why? I'm not going to give you question pattern. So last year it's totally different. This year we can expect there will be some changes in the question pattern. Okay, dear. So I hope all of you are clear with this. What you are supposed to do is, after your index page, in the first page you should write this weightage tabular column. Weightage tabular column in your CW. So unit name and then the mark allotted. Okay, neatly draw a tabular column and then do it. If you want, you can write algebra in the sense it consists of chapter 2 polynomials and 3 linear equation, 4 quadratic equation, and chapter number 5 arithmetic progression. Likewise geometry is triangles, circles and then construction. Okay. So trigonometry, again we have introduction to trigonometry and then application of trigonometry. Mensuration is areas related to circle, and then this is surface area and volume. Okay, dear. So totally we have 15 chapters, and this time no deletion. Okay, we are supposed to study everything. Now let me start with chapter number 1. That is number system. How much mark it carries? 6 marks. Actually, what is the name of the chapter? Real numbers. What do you mean by real numbers? We know very well. Already we have learned in the previous classes too. No issues. I'll tell you what is it. It is with the rational number and irrational number. What is it? Rational and irrational number together is said to be real numbers. What is rational number? What are the numbers can be said to be a rational number if it is in the form of p by q, where q not equal to 0 and p and q are co-primes. P and q are co-primes. They are said to be rational numbers. What is irrational? Which will not be of the form p by q. Which will not be of the form p by q. Okay, we can say what is rational and what is irrational. This is all in your lower classes we have learned. In this rational number, what all can be included? We know very well natural numbers. What is natural number? It is denoted by capital N that starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. What is another name for natural number? Counting numbers. Usually we will start from 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the way we will count. Am I right? So this is said to be counting numbers. Then we have whole numbers. What is whole numbers? Whole numbers are starts from 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Next we have integers. Integers denoted by capital Z. Here we have positive integers as well as negative integers. Positive integers and negative integers. Whether 0 an integer? Yes, 0 is also an integer. How about minus 1? Minus 1, is that greater than 0 or less than 0? Minus 1 is always less than 0. Which is greater here? 0 is greater. The number which is less than 0 in the sense that shows it is a negative integer. Okay, so all these comes under rational numbers. Okay. Now, in this lesson, apart from this natural number, whole number and integers, we are going to learn few other topics also. So what are the topics we are going to see? The first one what we are going to learn is Euclid's division lemma. I hope all of you have learned Euclid's geometry in class 9. Am I right? Who is a mathematician who has given so many theorems and postulates. Am I right? The same thing here also. Euclid's division lemma. What is the first topic we are going to study? Euclid's division lemma. Using that, Euclid's division algorithm also we are going to learn. So what is the second topic? Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. What is the second topic we are going to see? Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Then last one, revisiting irrational numbers. Revisiting irrational numbers. Already we know what is irrational, rational. Okay, so we are going to revisit in the different dimension. We are going to see how the irrational numbers. Okay, how to prove the given number is irrational. That is what we are going to see in the last topic, that is revisiting irrational numbers. Okay, then after that we have a decimal expansion. In the same topic we have decimal expansion also. Okay dears, so these are the 4 topics we are going to see in chapter number 1. So let me say the first one, that is Euclid's division lemma. What is that Euclid's division lemma? What do you mean by lemma? A lemma is a proof statement used for proving another statement. What is it? Lemma in the sense, a lemma is a proof, a statement used for proving another statement. Can you understand what is the meaning of lemma? It It is a proven statement already given by somebody else, which we are going to use to prove one another statement. That is what is said to be lemma. Okay. So using this lemma, we can find solution for the question whatever they have given. So it is not possible to find a solution within a step. Is that possible? Using a single step, is it possible to find a solution? No, it is not at all possible. So what we are going to do? We are going to do it step by step. Am I right? So first step, second step, then third step. Normally, if you are going to do a division, suppose if I give 48 divided by 5. How will you do this? Can you directly say 48 divided by 5? No. So what we'll do? We'll do it step by step. First we'll take 48. We have to say 5 tables. What is the first one? 8 times or 9 times. You can use 45. The remaining will be 3. So first step what we have done? That is saying a 5 tables. So we have got 9 times 45. Then we are doing repeated subtraction so that I got a 3 as remainder. So step by step I am doing this process. Am I right? So what is the name of this steps what I am going to do to find the solution? So that is said to be algorithm. What is it? Algorithm. Algorithm. Algorithm in the sense, an algorithm is a series of well-defined steps which gives a procedure for solving a type of problem. I hope you all understand what is algorithm. This is a step-by-step process to find a solution for particular problem. As we know, division in the sense what we have to do, first we have to check whether the first number is greater than the divisor or smaller than the divisor. If it is greater, we can start with 1 digit, or if it is smaller, we have to start with 2 digits. Am I right? So we have to say tables, then we have to do subtraction, then we'll get the remainder. If you want to proceed with the decimal, we have to add 0, then we'll get 6 here. Am I right? So this is how we'll do step by step, and this step we can't change the rules or the procedure, we can't change. That is why it is said to be well-defined steps. So only those steps to be followed. We can't change that. Okay, this is what is said to be algorithm. So what is the first one I said? Lemma. That is, a lemma is a proven statement used for proving another statement. Second one is algorithm. An algorithm is a series of well-defined steps which gives a procedure for solving a type of problem. Okay. Now, so what is the use of this? What we are going to do with this? What is this lemma? What is this algorithm? So lemma, here we are going to use as a theorem Euclid's division lemma. Theorem number 1.1. See here, theorem number 1.1. What is the name of the theorem? Euclid's division lemma. What is the name of the theorem? Euclid's division lemma. This is actually a very important 1-mark question. Very important 1-mark question. So you are supposed to note down all these in your hint notebook. During your Zoom interaction session, teachers will question you what you have noted down and they'll be asking questions from that. Okay dears, so that's the reason I'm telling you, first take down hint in your notebook, later on you can write in your CW. So don't waste much time in writing CW while watching the video. So after your lunch you can start writing your CW. Okay dears. So what is the first theorem we are going to see? Euclid's division lemma. What is the first theorem? That is Euclid's division lemma. This is a very important 1 mark question. This already we know, we have learned this in lower classes. Okay, what is that? We have learned this as a how to check a division. So usually you will be writing as dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Am I correct? The same way, that is for numeric. Here we are going to learn this Euclid's division lemma for integers. For integers, we know integers in the sense that may be a positive integer or a negative integer. But this Euclid's division lemma we have to use only for positive integer. So what is the statement? Given positive integers, A and B, there exists unique integers, Q and R satisfying A equal to BQ plus R, where BQ plus R, where 0 less than or equal to R less than B. 0 less than or equal to R less than B. What is given here? Given positive integers A and B. So here what are the two integers A and B? Here always A greater than B. It shows that A is the dividend and B is the divisor. Here Q is a quotient, R is a remainder. How the remainder should be? It should be equal to 0 or less than the divisor. Am I right? It should be equal to 0 or less than the divisor. If it is more than divisor, is that right? No. So it should be always less than the remainder. So what is the first theorem? What we have learned? As I said, this is a very important 1 mark question. You have to say along with me, given positive integers A and B, there exist unique integers Q and R satisfying A equal to BQ plus R. 0 less than or equal to R less than B. So this is what the condition. Whenever you are writing, you should write along with the condition A equal to BQ plus R, where 0 less than or equal to R less than B, and always A should be greater than B. This is a divisor, dividend, and this is a divisor. Okay dears. Okay. So this is the first theorem. Using this theorem, what we can do? We can find HCF of two numbers. We can find HCF of two numbers. That is using division lemma. But within a step, is it possible to find a HCF? No. We are going to follow some steps. So we will be getting around 2 to 3 steps. So step by step process we are going to follow. So what is it actually? Step by step process to find a solution in the sense that is an algorithm. Okay, that is an algorithm. So to obtain HCF of two positive integers, say C and D, with C greater than D, we have to follow few steps. Okay, so how to find? I'll give you an example. Okay, so let me start with the first example. Example number 1. Use Euclid's algorithm to find the HCF of, what do you mean by HCF? Highest common factor. Highest common factor. What do you mean by factor? Factor in the sense exact divisor. What do you mean by factor? Factor is exact divisor. Exact divisor. What does it mean? Remainder equal to 0. What does it mean? Remainder is equal to 0. When you divide a number by another number, if you get r equal to 0, then the divisor is said to be the factor of a given number. Okay. So when you get remainder equal to 0, it is said to be the given divisor is the factor of the given number. That is what it means. Okay, what is actually HCF? Highest common factor. What is it? Highest common factor. How the highest common factor should be for the given number? It may be equal to or less than. Okay, it should be less than or equal to the given numbers. Okay, it will not be definitely more than the given numbers. Okay, this is the highest common factor for both the numbers. Okay, so this must be less than or equal to the given number. Less than or equal to the given number. That is how the HCF will be. Okay, I think I made it clear. Now, let me start how to find HCF of 4052 and 12576 using Euclid's algorithm. Euclid's algorithm. What is the first step? Step 1 is we need to compare the two numbers. We need to compare the two numbers. Always what I said, A should be greater than B. So how can I take 12,576 is greater than 4,052. 4,052. Am I right? So this is what the first step. So with this, what I am going to apply? Euclid's division lemma I am going to apply. Euclid's division lemma. What is actually Euclid's division lemma? A equal to BQ plus R, where 0 less than or equal to R less than B. This is what Euclid's division lemma I am going to apply. So A is 12,576 is equal to B is 4,052 into dash. We don't know what is the quotient and we don't know what is the remainder. Okay, so how many times can you get 12,576? We need to find out. Okay dears, so here what I can take is 3 times, because 4,052 and 12,000 in the sense almost 4 3s are 12. So you have to think and act always. Okay, you have to think and act. So what I can do is I can take 3 times of 4,052. That gives 4,052 into 3 times gives 12,156. So that is almost near to 12,576. So it is not an exact divisor. So what I am going to do? Definitely I will be getting a remainder, that is 420. Near to that, what you are supposed to write? R not equal to 0. When I am supposed to stop this? Until I get R equal to 0, I need to proceed. Can you understand what is it? Until you get the remainder as 0, we have to move on to the next step. So this is step 1. Next, step 2. Step 2, what should be the new dividend now? Actually, you need to take this 4,052 as your new dividend. That is 4,052 is equal to, what should be your new divisor? That is a remainder. I have to take 420. into dash plus dash. Okay, so now what I have done, first step is over. Here r is not equal to 0. So what I have done, so I need to go on for the next step. So what is the next step? I need to take a new dividend, that is 4052 is the new dividend, 420 is the new divisor. So 420 into how many times we can say? 420 into 10 in the sense that is 4200. So definitely maybe 9 times. So when you find what is 420 into 9, that gives 3780. 3780. When you subtract from 4052, I'll get 272. 272. Look at the remainder. Again it is not equal to 0. Again it is not equal to 0. Do I need to stop here? No, I need to proceed. As I said in the beginning, until I get r equal to 0, I have to go to the next step. So now step 3. What is step 3? What will be the new dividend here? 420. What should be the new divisor? 272. So 420 equal to 272 into dash plus remainder. So obviously if I take 2 times in the sense, it will be more than 420. So I have to take 272 into 1 times gives 272. So 420 minus 272 gives 148. So what is the remainder? 148. Here too remainder not equal to 0. So I need to proceed with one more step. So what will be the new dividend now in step 4? New dividend will be 272 and the new divisor will be 148 into. So how many times I can take? Obviously 1 time. So plus, what will be the remainder? 272 minus 148 gives 124. Gives 124. So here too, remainder not equal to 0. Remainder not equal to 0. So I have to move for step 5. What will be the new dividend? 148 equal to, what will be the new divisor? 124 into, how many times? 124 and 148, obviously 1 time. So what will be the remainder? 24. Is 24 equal to 0? No. So remainder not equal to 0. Again step 6. What we need to do? We have to take the new dividend as 124 and the divisor as 24 into, how many times shall we take? How many times? 5 times we can take. Find out what is 5 times. 5 times of 24 gives 120. So what will be the remainder? 4. So here too r not equal to 0. So I have to proceed with step number 7. So what will be the new dividend? 24. New divisor is 4 into dash plus dash. So in 4 tables, when will you get 24? 6 times. So 6 4s are 4, 6 are 24. So obviously remainder will be 0. Here you need to write r equal to 0. Which one should be taken as HCF here? So in place of b, that is a equal to bq plus r. In this, in place of b, that is 4. Okay, this should be taken as HCF. Okay. So what we can write? Hence a HCF of 4052 and 12,576 is 4. So what is the HCF here? 4. Okay, ma? Okay. With this, I'll give you two more remarks. That is very, very important remark. They may ask you an 1 mark question. That is given there in page number 5. Page number 5. Page number 5, the bottom of the page, it is given remarks. Okay, first remark you see, Euclid's division lemma and algorithm are so closely interlinked that the people often call a formula as a division algorithm also. It can be called division algorithm. Okay, we used to say in lower class division algorithm, that is dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay, so that is the first one. And second one, you see, when I say Euclid's division lemma, I stated given positive integers a and b. Okay, but when you look at remark number 2, they have given, although Euclid's division algorithm is stated for only positive integers, it can be extended for all integers except 0. It shows it can be done for both positive and negative except 0. So that is very important, except 0. But we know that 0 is also an integer. But division lemma or algorithm cannot be done for 0. But we can do for positive and negative integers. That is b not equal to 0. However, we shall not discuss this here. Okay, ma? So we are not going to use that one. But you should know. They may ask you in 1 mark question. So what is the first one I said? Division lemma and algorithm are interlinked. So we can call that as division algorithm. We can call that as division algorithm. Second remark is, it is stated in division lemma, Euclid's division lemma, that is theorem 1.1, for only positive integers, but it can be extended for all integers. All integers in the sense both positive as well as negative except 0. Except 0. Okay, dears. So with this I'll wind up. I hope all of you understand the first day session. And if you have any doubts, you can clarify your doubts during the Zoom interaction session. That is not only for doubt clearing, we'll ask you questions too. So doubt clearing session plus question session. It is going to be a 40 minutes of time. Kindly make use of that. As I said in the beginning, don't waste time. From day 1, if you concentrate, definitely you can score very well in mathematics. All of you must aim for centum. So from day 1, work hard and achieve. Thank you, dears.